So today we are going to discuss demand estimation, right? That's a topic that I am going to discuss today in the class. Normally whenever one introduces a new product or a service into the market, before he actually introduces or before the product or service is introduced, we would like to find out whether that service or product will be successfully sold or marketed. In a sense, we are trying to see what are the likely potential revenues that product or service will generate, what are the costs of the product launch or service launch, and whether it makes economic sense for the product or service to be launched. One way of checking it out is actually doing it, launch the product and find out if people will buy it or not. Now that's a very expensive method. For example, if it fails, then you will lose a lot of money, a lot of time, some people will also lose confidence, and it could be a disaster. So a lot of companies, or rather even in management, we will tell that people that even before you launch some new project or a new product or a new concept, it is better to do some research to find out whether there will be any demand for the product, whether the cost of launching the product, making the product, and the demand that you generate, the economics will work out or not. So it's a kind of a feasibility study. One needs to do a feasibility, right? Feasibility study. Feasibility means what? You are looking at revenues, likely revenues. We are looking at likely costs and seeing if the likely revenues are more than compensating the cost or not. Now in this whole revenue versus cost analysis, the first thing would be to estimate the revenues or estimate the demand in rupee terms for the product. Okay. Now more and more you will see that products are actually services. More and more products are today in the market services, right? And estimating demand for services is always more difficult than products. The reason being that products are tangible, means you can touch them, you can feel them, you can see them. I am selling a refrigerator. I can put a photograph of a refrigerator, that this is how a refrigerator will look. I can make it tangible because you are actually selling a physical piece. But when you are selling a service, you are not having anything tangible, right? So you should be, rather it will be perhaps more difficult for us to estimate demand of services than products. So today what we will do is, we will try to see what is the theory behind demand estimation. We will also try and see the case study of a amusement park. An amusement park or a game park or a game park. How does one estimate the demand for a game park or a theme park or an amusement park? What is an amusement park? And a park where there are some rides, some adventure rides, some pleasure rides, right? Something more than a normal public park where people will go to. Okay. Now when you are doing this estimation, we do it at 3 levels. We do it at 3 levels. Okay. The first thing that we are trying to see is the customer willing to try it. Okay. Is the customer willing to try it? That is, if I set up an amusement park, Are you interested to go to such a park? Okay. Are you interested to go to such a park? Sometimes people will say, for example, I'll go to a tribal area and I'll tell that I'm introducing an aircraft service to come to Parliament. And I tell people, are you interested to try it? Now some people may be even afraid of getting into a plane. They don't look at whether I can pay, how much it will cost. No, I will not go in a plane. For example, 20 years back, when I sent 2 people from here to Tripura for training, tribal kids, I sent them from Calcutta by flight. And both their parents came and did dharna before my house. Kahan bech diya usko? Will he come back alive? How can he fly like that? What happens if the plane collapses? Till the plane reached Tripura, they were very tense. So somebody may say, no. Even if you give me free, you put me in a plane, I will not be willing to try. Right? So what are you first looking at? Trying to see whether the person is willing to try or not willing to try. That's the first thing. Now we all know, supposing you say yes, suppose I offer you that, look, no, I'll take you in a plane to Delhi. Right? I'm going to introduce a plane service from here to Delhi. All of you will say, yes, we will try. Right? Now, yes, I'll say 100 people I have talked to, and all 100 have said that they want to try going in a plane. And I launch a plane. What happens? Will it work? Why not? It may or may not work. The reason being, just trial is not sufficient. It's not only physical ability, it should be economic ability, right? Are you pay for it? Listen, okay, right? I can only run an economic service and make money out of it if the person is willing to try and is willing to pay. For example, it may so happen that I am willing to pay, I have the ability to pay, but I am not willing to try. I have the money, but due to various reasons I don't want to go by a plane. I'll go by train only because I'm afraid of going in a plane. Even then, even though people have money, I launch a plane service, it will not work because people are not willing to try. Okay. But just trial alone will not work. The second thing is he willing to pay for it? Just ignore the small points, we'll come back to it later. Okay. Now we have a problem in India. When you actually go and ask people that, look, I am trying to launch so and so service. For example, in this case, amusement park. We will say, look, we are going to launch an amusement park in Parliament. You ask him, will you try? He will say, why should I say no? Let me say yes. Now will you pay? Again he will say, yes, I am not paying now. Or yes, I am willing to pay also. So you can't take what people say at face value, first of all. Right? If you, for example, you do a survey like this with 200 people, in all likelihood you will come out with a figure that 190 of them would like to try, 190 of them would like to pay. So then the demand will come like as if it's huge. And when you actually launch the service, you will actually see that people are not serious. They have told you that they will pay and they will try, but they may not actually do it. Okay. In fact, we call it as the problem of the positive skew. Problem of positive skew, where people would not like to say negative things. People would like to, just for the sake of it, say yes, I will do it, but I will actually have no intention of doing it. So first of all, I have to have a method of checking out whether somebody is saying that I am willing to try, is he really willing to try? If somebody is saying I am willing to pay, is he really willing to pay? The third thing that is important, okay, I am willing to pay, I am willing to try. For example, I am launching a new motorbike in Barlakmudi, new 150cc motorbike. I'll ask, will you try? There are very good features, very good fuel mileage, whatever. I say yes, it's a good thing, I'll try. I'll ask you, will you be willing to pay? Yes, I'm willing to pay also. Still I can't think that you'll buy my product. When I launch it and say, look, you said you are willing to buy and you are willing to try, please buy. They'll say, no, but I already have a bike. I just bought a bike 1 year back. While I'm interested in your product, I'm willing to pay for it also. Not now, because I have a bike already. So the third thing that we're talking about is switch. Yeah. Try and switch. That is, I'm looking, okay, is the customer willing to try? If he is willing to try, is he willing to pay? He is willing to try and pay, but is he willing to switch from my competitor to me? Only when he is willing to switch from my competitor to me, then I can consider him as willing to buy. So willingness to buy, which is demand, which in turn leads to revenue, willingness to buy, if you say willingness to buy, is a function of willingness to try and pay and so willingness to buy a product is a function of willingness to try, willingness to pay, willingness to switch. Okay. Now, if that's the case, how do we actually calculate the demand? As I first said, again, that in all probability, most of the people would say yes, we will try. Most of the people would say yes, we will pay. Some may even say we will switch. But actually they may not do so. We have this problem of positive skew. How do we then build a model which will take people's responses as they are, but give us a realistic demand figure? We must get a realistic demand figure. So what do we do for that? When somebody says I am willing to try, I am looking at it and saying, okay, what is he doing now? For example, I would like to go to your amusement park. You may like to check, is he actually going to any park at all now or not? Suppose the fellow doesn't even go to a park. Okay. Then the probability of his going to an amusement park is much less. So you would like to check out, see what we do normally in these cases is, his potential future behavior we would like to compare with his present behavior. Like a lot of you will come, no? No sir, tomorrow I will be regular to the class. Right? Will I believe it? No. I look at your past history. Right? Has he a habit of following up on his word? Was he regular in the past? So supposing he was generally regular in the past and one day he was absent, you'll say, sorry sir, tomorrow I will give him better weightage that he will be coming to the class on time than a guy who I see in the past 1 month, 25 days he has been not regular to the class. So the probability of his coming up tomorrow on time to the class is also a function of what he has done in the past, right? So we are actually building what is called as a probability model, right? It's a probability model. Because till you launch the product, you won't know whether he will buy or not buy. You would not know, right? So I can only do a probability analysis. What is the probability that he will actually buy? He will actually try, he will actually pay, he will actually switch, given his past behavior. Given his past behavior. Now I would like to put in a probability model which will actually discount what he is saying now by a factor depending upon what he has done in the past. Okay? So we are saying, have you tried generic competitors? What are generic competitors? Generic competition. What is generic competition for a toothbrush? Yes? Generic competition. How many ways can you brush your teeth? Stick, right? Hand, stick, or brush. In India there are 3 ways of brushing teeth. So generic competitor for brushing with a brush is also a stick. Isn't it? So you use a stick to brush your teeth. So generic competitor for an amusement park is what? Any type of outdoor entertainment. Any type of? Like what? Beach. Yes, going to beach. If it's a place like Vizag, going to beach. Any other? Okay. Anything else? That is category competition. It's not a generic competition. Water World is also an amusement park. What other thing that you can do in outdoor entertainment? The most, please sit. What is a common way of spending time outside in India is going to a movie. Okay. So we are saying today, okay, if he's saying he'll go to amusement park, is he actually going out? Or is he just sitting in the house and watching TV? Is he only reading books, you know? If he says, I love reading books at my home, what do you do in free time? I spend only time watching TV and reading books. That's what you do. The probability that you will actually come to an amusement park is very less. But if somebody says, no, going to Inox movie is my way of spending time, in all probability, there's a higher probability that this person will actually end up going to an amusement park. So we are looking at his present behavior. No? What does he think about this product? Does he have a favorable attitude? Is he trying at least generic competition? To buy a brush, the guy must be brushing teeth, no? If he's not even brushing teeth, so will he buy a brush? Right. So if you are saying, I want to buy a bike, at least you should be riding a cycle. Now if you're not even riding a cycle, the probability that you will actually buy a bike, you may buy. Nobody can say that no, you will not buy. We're talking about probability. The probability of your buying bike when you are actually not even riding a cycle is very less. Okay. So I must build into my model of demand estimation some kind of a probability depending on what he is doing presently. What he is doing presently and what he is saying. Is there any match? Okay. Similarly, paying. Would you like to pay? Yes, I will pay. But does he have money to pay? What kind of a economic class is he coming from? For example, he is going out to outdoor entertainment. But what is he doing now in outdoor entertainment? How much is he spending? Suppose he goes to beach and eats moompali, which is 3 rupees or 5 rupees, let's say. Even if he says, I am willing to pay 100 rupees for an amusement park, the probability is less. Somebody is spending 5 rupees today when he goes to beach, he is spending 100 rupees or 200 rupees in an amusement park is less. Okay. So one has to discount again what he is saying about paying with what is actually paying now. How much is he paying now? How much is he spending when he is actually going out? Right? So essentially I am building in a model of probability, a model of demand estimation, where I am discounting what he says about future, because future is always bright, right? Everybody would like to do well in future, right? It is the present and the past which is the problem, right? Future, there are no restrictions. No, I can think that I'll become the Prime Minister of India. Who's stopping me from thinking, right? Suppose the same questions are asked to you. Would you like to be the Prime Minister of India? Yes, why not? Okay. But what is the probability that you will become? Then what are you doing now? Are you son of Sonia Gandhi? Then maybe yes, probability is very high, right? You are son of Biju Patnaik, probability is very high. Now that doesn't mean that one of you here will not become Chief Minister of Odisha. Yes, you may become. But the probability is, given what you are, given what you have done in the past, the probability of that happening is lower. It's only a probability. No, you can still, anything can happen. As I said, the same thing. What we are building is a probabilistic demand estimation, potential demand estimation model. It may fail. Actual demand may be higher or lower. I'll be happy if the actual demand is higher. So normally when you're doing this model, you'll be very conservative. What do you mean by conservative? You would like to be pessimistic in your estimate. What is the minimum demand I'm likely to get? So I will try to discount what people say by looking at their present behavior. And then look at pay, try, pay and switch. It's actually a conditional probability. Switch, given that you will pay, given that you will try. So demand is nothing but estimating the conditional probability of somebody switching to your product from competitor, given that he is willing to pay for the product and given that he is willing to try the product. Switch slash pay slash try. If I am able to calculate this probability, the conditional probability of try, pay, switch or switch, pay, try, I can get an estimate of how much of demand this particular service is, our product is likely to generate if it is actually launched. Now that's what is called as, this is what is called as concept testing. They do test marketing. What is test marketing? Actually you make a prototype of the product. In service it's not easy. You can't do a test marketing of amusement park, because you really have to build an amusement park for test marketing. But if you are launching a new bike, you might actually make some 100 bikes and actually launch them in a test market and check out actually what is happening. So in products normally people also do test marketing, but in services it is very, very tough for us to do test marketing. Normally we do what is called as concept testing. Now any questions, any doubt? No? No? No questions? Okay. I'll just sum up again. This whole exercise is one of trying to find demand, estimate demand. And estimating demand is nothing but trying to calculate the probability of switch, given that he will pay, given that he will try. Right. And we all know that there is a problem of positive skew, so essentially what people say about future may not be what they will actually do. Okay. So we would like to discount the probability of their future actions by bringing in their present behavior or past behavior into account. Using that, we will try to estimate a conservative probability estimate of what is the probability that this person will actually try the service.